The national trail system has grown by more than 1,000 miles. 2 YouTubers are fined $1,000 for filming in parks without a permit. And a hiker lost in Zion for 12 days has been found. It's time for the National Park News. I'm Jason Epperson, and here on the RV Miles channel, we take the time once a month to round up the latest in National Park news, which you can also hear on our weekly America's National Parks podcast, available on any podcast app. The big news this month just happened Wednesday. All U.S. military veterans, along with immediate family members of those who have fallen in service, will be granted free access to national parks and other fee-charging federal lands managed by the Department of the Interior. The change will begin on Veterans Day, November 11th this year. That's over 20 million Americans who will benefit from the program. Previously, only active duty military were able to get free admission to parks. But the Department of the Interior does not manage the U.S. Forest Service lands. They fall under the Department of Agriculture and have not announced a similar veteran policy change. So for the time being, veterans will not be able to get the annual interagency pass card. But there are few, if any, national forest sites with an entrance fee. Instead, veterans can get admission by showing a veteran ID card or a veteran's designation on a state-issued driver's license. Gold Star families, who are the next of kin of a member of the United States Armed Forces who lost their life in a qualifying situation, such as war, international terrorist attack, or a military operation, they'll all be able to enter by simply stating their status. Veterans will not receive a discount on tours, camping permits, or other fees, so veterans that are living with a disability or are 62 and over will still benefit from picking up the Interagency Access or Senior Pass. You can learn more about all the national park passes in this video, which I'll be updating soon to include all the new veteran info. Separately, the Department of the Interior also announced that the Every Kid Outdoors program, used to be called Every Kid in a Park, which offers 4th graders a free annual pass, is going to be extended to 5th graders for the next school year, in order to allow students that weren't able to access the program due to the pandemic the opportunity to explore parks free of charge. 4th and 5th graders can fill out a form to gain admission, which I'll link to in the description. Other free or discounted passes are available for persons with permanent disabilities, volunteers, and senior citizens age 62 or older. The rest of us can pay $80 a year for an annual pass. Still a great deal. Holly Cordier left her cell phone behind at her Los Angeles home and drove to Zion National Park in order to go for a hike, with minimal gear and without telling anyone where she went. She disappeared, and after an exhaustive search, she was found 12 days later in good enough condition to be released to her family. The local sheriff's office participated in the search, and they noticed inconsistencies in the woman and her family's stories, and they've opened up a criminal investigation into the incident. Cordier was found near the Virgin River, within the Zion Canyon, where it's fairly hard to get lost. Her family says she hit her head early on and had a concussion, but that doesn't explain how she survived so long without water. She knew the Virgin River has toxins in it, and her family says she didn't drink from it. So how did she survive for 12 days without water? And well enough that she didn't need to be carried out or rushed to a hospital in an ambulance. The family states that the sheriff's questions about the incident are understandable, but nonetheless, the incident happened as they said it did. They say they brought her immediately to an emergency room where she received treatment for a concussion, kidney failure, and foot injuries due to the cold, and the National Park Service is yet to release a full incident report. Rocky Mountain National Park is currently closed entirely due to wildfires. The East Troublesome Fire has intensified and continued to make a significant run to the east from the Continental Divide, causing mandatory evacuations of the Estes Valley. The fire, which started on October 14th, has grown to over 190,000 acres, 100,000 of which happened in one single night. The Cameron Peak fire has also been burning in the area since the 13th. Some Estes Park residents are now being allowed back into their homes, but the national park remains closed. A 100-pound World War II-era bomb washed up on the beaches of Cape Hatteras National Seashore in North Carolina. After careful examination by a U.S. Navy explosive team, it was determined to be live. The Navy detonated the bomb in place after closing a half-mile perimeter. Sand was sent 60 feet into the air, and the Park Service is working to refill the hole. How would you like to operate a bed and breakfast and a small campground on an island in the Pacific, just off the coast near Los Angeles? Well, if you've got the cash, Channel Islands National Park is soliciting proposals for the historic main ranch on Santa Rosa Island. The lease includes rustic lodging, food and beverage services, and a campground on 32 acres of corrals, pastures, historic structures, and scenic beauty. Santa Rosa is the second largest of the Channel Islands, 15 miles long and 10 miles wide, with rolling hills, deep canyons, and a coastal lagoon, and beaches adorned with sand dunes. For thousands of years, unusual animals and plants have made this windswept island their home, including the extinct flightless geese, giant mice, and pygmy mammoths, and the still existent island fox, spotted skunk, and Torrey pine. I want you to imagine for a second a single bison near the roadside in the steam at Yellowstone National Park in the early morning hours. Two folks are set up next to each other, pointed right at the bison, with tripods and cameras on top of them. The cameras are identical. One of them presses the shutter button to take a photo. The other presses the record button to take a video, as I'm doing right now sitting here. Both sell what they capture to a stock photo agency. The photographer's in the clear, but the videographer might face some massive fines because taking video on national park lands is illegal without permit if you're doing it for money. It's a law that's not often enforced, but popular YouTubers and travel bloggers Kara and Nate had a rough surprise when they found out they were subject to that law. They were contacted recently by the National Park Service about filming in parks without permit. According to a video the couple posted, threats of arrest warrants were made unless the couple responded to allegations that they filmed content on national park property. They promptly responded and ultimately were issued a $1,000 fine and a ban from filming in national parks in the future. Kara and Nate's videos in parks are no different than those made by most YouTubers, including some by me, many of whom fly under the radar due to the fact that there's little way for the National Park Service to know whether people are making money from their work. But Kara and Nate have been publishing quarterly income reports for years in order to help people fulfill their full-time travel dreams. Someone at the National Park Service caught wind of those reports and contacted the couple for filming without a commercial filming permit. The National Park Service requires that anyone filming within parks for, quote, a market audience with the intent of generating income obtain a permit to film. Even if it's just you walking behind your Aunt Edna with an iPhone on a trail, if the intent is to make money, the National Park Service wants you to have a permit. But what does making money mean? It's not clear. If you're a vlogger that makes $4 off a video of your national park visit through YouTube monetization, are you making money? Clearly your expenses outweigh the income. But neither the law nor the National Park Service policy deal with what making money or market audience mean. Is just the fact that YouTube is making money off a video enough, even if you're not? Kara and Nate fall squarely in the making money category, of course, but nobody knows where the line is. The permit process requires a non-refundable application fee that ranges from $25 for students to $1,000 for feature films, with most falling in the $75 to $300 category. They won't get that money back even if it's denied. The permit is then on top of that. It's free for smaller projects as long as it's 1 to 2 people with a tripod and doesn't require supervision. And the filming process is short of 4 hours. That last part's a little bit difficult for folks that are wanting to take video of their family vacation and slap it up on YouTube. Beyond 4 hours, most YouTubers would be paying $150 a day. The permit process also requires a 14-day advance submission and for you to submit storyboards, scripts, maps, and a schedule. It's clearly meant for TV shows and films. The National Park Service really ought to consider this an opportunity. It's time to examine what commercial filming means and make clear guidelines on this issue so that people know what to expect and can follow the law and regulations appropriately. The policy reflects a time when you had professional filmmakers and you had visitors. The lines have clearly blurred over the last 20 years. 30 new national recreation trails in 25 states have been announced, adding nearly 1,300 miles to the National Trail System. The National Trail System includes National Scenic, National Historic, and National Recreation Trails, and they offer an abundance of outdoor enjoyment on public lands. The National Recreation Trails program is jointly administered by the National Park Service and the U.S. Forest Service. Finally, it's not every day that a new major historic discovery is found in a national park anymore, but it happens from time to time. The latest, a set of 10,000-year-old or more footprints, the longest known fossilized human trackway. What's more, they were found at a place where footprints disappear in moments, White Sands National Park. The prints were actually found in 2018, but have just been proven to be the world's longest. The prints go for almost a mile along the shore of what used to be a lake, and they're believed to be from a woman or an adolescent boy who was carrying a child. They show that the person alternated from carrying the child and shifted them from side to side, occasionally setting them down to walk on their own. A ritual every parent of a 4-year-old goes through every single day. The child's footprints periodically show up alongside the other set of footprints, changing position from side to side. It's a striking reminder from the time of the last saber-toothed tigers of the importance of preserving our special places in the world and the tiny spot we occupy on the scale of human existence. If you enjoyed this video or got information or value from it, please click the like button. And if you want to get notified every time we put a new video out, please click the subscribe button and the little notification bell that pops up afterwards. That's it for this month's News from the Parks. I'm Jason Epperson. We'll see you next time. Keep logging those RV miles.